Many would say that one of the purest forms of kindness is receiving help from a child. In today's video, I will be telling you about a young boy who was spotted doing something out of the ordinary. He would be spotted in the streets with a deer. When the neighbors took a closer look at the deer's eyes, they were surprised. Keep watching to find out why. A trustworthy companion. Back in 2015, in the US state of Illinois, apartment residents could not ignore the strange newcomer in their neighborhood. It was a deer. Since it spent a lot of time wandering the streets, some assumed that it was probably hungry. However, no one approached it, until a 10-year-old boy lent the stray animal a helping hand. He was still a kid, so it was mandatory for him to go to school. Nonetheless, the boy could manage his time every day just before school would start. The boy would meet with the deer. The female deer enjoyed the boy's company. From the kindness of his heart, he would walk by her side, guiding her from one grass patch to another, so she could safely find some food. The doe couldn't do this on her own because she was blind. Her condition also made her vulnerable to danger. Seeing as government wildlife officials don't necessarily try to save or provide help for wild animals, she would not survive on her own. Thank goodness for the boy who tried to reach out to help the poor animal. Then, a man and his wife noticed the regular interaction between the two and felt like the story deserved to be shared with others. So the man took a picture and posted it on Reddit, under the username Blue Collar Classicist. It didn't take long for the picture to go viral soon. It warmed people's hearts to see a young child taking out some of his free time to help an animal in need. It was only natural for some people to be concerned about the deer's long-term well-being after seeing the picture. In response to the post, some people commented, encouraging Blue Collar Classicist to contact a wildlife rescue so the animal can receive professional care. The Redditor knew it was the most sensible course of action, so he and his wife did exactly that. They contacted the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, which is a licensed wildlife rehabilitation group, and the deer was rescued. Eventually, some of their staff came along to collect the deer and take it to a vet. The Redditor gave an update online stating, "The deer will likely be tagged and taken to a controlled forest preserve, but they did say since she seems so docile that she might end up in an approved farm or petting zoo." The boy and the doe had only been together for a few days, but their friendship would leave an impression on him for a while. He was young, but he already acknowledged she deserved medical treatment. The boy's wish for her was not to claim it as his own, but to know that she would be well looked after. In fact, he was very glad to hear that the doe was in safe hands, instead of wandering on the streets like before. The man and his wife were very impressed by how mature the young boy handled the situation. "He showed a lot of love and respect, and my wife and I are going to talk to his mom about a way she would like to see his act of kindness rewarded," said the Redditor. What do you think of this friendship? Although the time the boy and deer had spent together was brief, every moment together seemed to be precious. It's a lovely thing to see such a gentle bond form between a child and an animal. Just in time. Sometimes, when a young boy acts on his instinct, he might end up saving a life. An owner left his French Mastiff named Boo in the car. Unfortunately, it was a hot day, and the car was heating up. Feeling the temperature rise, the dog did a drastic thing. It smashed a window. Around this time, a 13-year-old schoolboy who was with his friends walked past the car. Boo became excited at the sight of the boys and jumped out the window. However, he did not realize that his lead was still stuck inside the car. With the jump, he was hanging himself. This left the dog in a dangerous position. The boy, Bradley North, saw what had happened and wasted no time in heading over to the dog. Bradley hurried to Boo and swiftly unclipped the dog's collar. "I managed to unpick the buckle on the lead and managed to save him," explained the boy. For the next 15 minutes, the schoolboy stayed with the dog, waiting for his owner to return. During this time, Bradley comforted Boo. When the owner saw the boys with her dog, she rushed over to them. They explained the situation and she thanked Bradley for saving her dear pet. Bradley's motivation to help came from personal reasons. He said, "I felt really sorry for the dog when I saw him, and I just thought about my own dog and that I would want somebody to save him if he was in the same position." Even though Bradley is still young, his empathy will most definitely bring a lot of good karma in the future. From vacation to rescue mission. Another story about an unexpected rescue took place on the riverbanks of the St. Lawrence when a family went over to Quebec, Canada for a vacation. The last thing they were expecting was that their sons would end up saving the life of an unusual animal. It was Thursday afternoon, and Nicolas Milliard was enjoying his vacation at the Rivière de Loup. When he left his lodging, he was joined by his brothers. They were all shocked when they suddenly came across a creature that had washed ashore. Upon closer inspection, they realized that it was a baby beluga. However, the mother was nowhere to be seen. So, 15-year-old Nicholas immediately acted and his brothers followed suit. They used a sheet to protect the calf from the sun. To hydrate its skin, the boys dug a hole so water would accumulate. The brothers quickly thought up a rescue system that involved coming back every 5 minutes with a bucket of water. This task was not as simple as it may seem, because it was around 1 p.m. in the afternoon and the river's water level had dropped significantly. Low tides meant getting water for the calf was becoming more difficult. Fortunately, help arrived. The Group for Research and Education on Marine Mammals safely brought the baby whale back into the water and then sent it off with other beluga whales. This way, the calf would at least have a solid chance of survival with another lactating mother, if it cannot find its mother again. The Milliard brothers are proud of themselves. "We told ourselves we just saved a life," Nicholas commented. "And a rare one at that. A good Samaritan." Like with the first story, sometimes the animal needing help is just around your neighborhood. People online have hailed a Camden boy a hero after they heard his amazing story. Jaden Rattray was being driven home by his grandmother, Karen. However, something had caught their eyes, and Karen ended up stopping the car. It was a cat. Jaden asked if he could take the animal back home. Looking back, he explained, "I wasn't going to just let it sit there. I couldn't do that." After a phone call, they ended up taking the cat to the local vet. Clinton Pet Vet took the cat in and covered the treatment bill until it could be paid. Jaden called the vet regularly to check up on the cat. Even though he's only 11 years old, he even offered to pay for the bill. Karen and Jaden also went online to find the cat's owner, but it was all to no avail. Jaden has named the cat Lucky, and eventually, he adopted her. Karen says that Lucky and Jaden have a special connection. While the feline is healing from her injuries, the boy's presence never fails to calm and relax her. There is something very precious about an animal having a soft spot for children. One selfless act. Just like the previous story, this one is about a boy stumbling across a cat in need. It was a pleasant evening in Turkey, so 19-year-old Oscar went for a walk. After some time, he ended up wandering around a forest. Suddenly, his ears picked up on an unfamiliar sound. Even though it was muffled, it was still audible. The strangest thing of all was that it was coming from a well. Once Oscar approached the well, he realized a stray cat had fallen to the bottom. To make matters worse, the well was full of fuel oil. The dark of the night paired with the darkness of the well made it difficult for Oscar to see. He could barely see the cat. However, the boy had decided to help from the moment he found a helpless animal's life was in danger. So he did the unthinkable. He jumped into the well. Because of this, Oscar could save the cat's life. His impulsive behavior meant that he didn't think about how the oil would affect him. Unlike a minute before, the thick fluid covered the boy's entire body. Fortunately for both the boy and the cat, the neighbors and other people became alarmed at the sound caused by both of them and ended up at the scene. Thankfully, the people rescued the boy and the cat were rescued from their terrifying predicament. Here's a picture of Oscar showing his body completely covered in black oil. In the end, both the impulsive hero and the lucky cat were saved from the well and treated. Oscar has a message for everyone who hears his story. I hope we can instill a love of animals in all people. Would you selflessly jump into a well filled with thick black oil to save a cat? Does something like that come naturally for you? These heroic stories go to show that you're never too young to take action and help when it is needed. Which one of these stories did you find the most touching? Let me know in the comments below. If you like hearing incredible stories, be sure to like and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.